It says we are live. It's Thursday. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up. Ooh, it's not going back right, is it? Hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And we're going to kick things off right away with, of course, a welcome. I hope you guys are having a tremendous week. I think I got everything kind of set up there. Hey, Mike, happy to see you. Hey, Darren. Hey, Blue. And hey, Waspinator so far. Hey, Heathen. Hey, Fearless. Happy New Year to you too, buddy. We're going to kick things off with really what is some breaking news, and these are new listings. This is a report from TFW, courtesy of JT Prime 17. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to kind of bring to you like a slate of Transformers 1 items, I suppose. They're code named. Yeah, they're code named. They seem to be gimmick stuff. I'll run through it nevertheless. The first one is the Prime Changer Admiral. And this was first discovered on Amazon.ca, Amazon Canada, at a price of about $35.81. And that would fall at about a deluxe class price point. Now, I'm assuming a Prime Changer, whatever that is some sort of a gimmick thingy. But nevertheless, it's probably about the ballpark size-wise and stuff. Maybe a deluxe, maybe. Speaking of Prime Changers, we also have Alphabet, we also have Sergeant, and we also have Ace. And these have product numbers of F8691, 92, 93, and 94. Moreover, we have Mega Changers, which I assume are going to be something bigger, larger. Mega Changer Overlord. I don't think it's the Overlord we all know and fear. I think that it's a code name. Admiral again. Admiral has to be some version of Optimus Prime or Orion Pax or something, right? Ace again, and this time Corporal. And those product codes are F869899, F8700, and F8701. A 2-in-1 mask, that's F9181. Another 2-in-1 mask, I assume it's like Optimus and B or something. It's always Optimus and B, isn't it? And the code for that is F9182. Then there's Cybertronian launchers. I'm assuming this is some role play item. That's F9204. A robot battlers multi-pack, whatever that is. Like I'm thinking something like fast action battlers from back in the day. And those are 9207. And then there's Flip Up Admiral. I assume this is some sort of a one-step changer thing with maybe a spring-loaded gimmick, kind of like jump starters or something. A Battle Pack 2, that's F9211. One-step Ace. Actually, Cog one-step Ace. F9383. Cog one-step Rounder, F9384. Cog one-step Capital, F9385. Cog one-step Overlord, F9386. A lot of one-steps, man. I mean, a lot of one-steps. You got to stop making them. This is just going to clog up the shelves. Don't expect any new product because this junk is going to clog up the shelves. One-step Sergeant, and one-step, of course, Admiral. Beyond the one-steps, there are battling figures, Sergeant, battling figures Ace, Alphabet, Corporal, and Half Rack. And those numbers are F9389, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94. Then there's Movie 8 Platoon High Commander, whatever that is. That sounds cool, though. Maybe some sort of a play set or something. F9493, Ultimate Energon Admiral. I'm assuming this is some big, giant, gimmicky, I don't know, maybe the big thing for Christmas next year or something. F9494, but then it gets interesting because there's a Movie 8 Energon Reveal OP, which you would think has to be Optimus Prime, right? F9 495. Power Glow Ace F9496. Racing Bot Shot 2-pack. Bot Shot? Remember Bot Shots? 2-pack. F9507. Race and Blast, whatever that is. F9772. Racing Warrior 3-pack. Not a deluxe 3-pack, a Warrior 3-pack. F9773. And a Race Changers 2-pack. And that's G0338. Whoo! All of that I just said, all of that from Transformers 1, I got to believe it's all gimmicky junk. I hope that line has something better than that, because I feel like Rise of the Beasts, the main line, suffered because the main line is just gimmicky trash that, quite frankly, doesn't sell. Don't get me wrong, some of the Battle Masters, I guess they're neat. I think a couple of like the Battle Alliance, like the RC, at least I think is neat. And I do think the main line, Primal, Rhinox, and Optimus that they did, they all look fine. But none of that is what's left stocking the shelves. All the one-step stuff, those masks that turn into robots, the big Bumblebee with the bird wing things, the Optimus with the lion head, the what else is there? I don't know. I honestly don't know. All of that gimmicky stuff is still pretty much taking up the entire Transformer section, at least where I live. I don't know what it's like where you live, but the Transformer section is full. It's full of gimmicky junk. So make of that what you will. Nevertheless, that's a bunch of listings for Transformers 1. The first one that I mentioned, the Admiral one that was found on Amazon.ca, has a release date of August 1st. 2024. I got to believe a lot of these are going to come out around the summer. Make of that what you will. Let's go back up here and see kind of what you guys are sort of saying here. Hey, Imperial, watching it on your Android phone. Well, you know what? I do everything on my Android phone, so I can't fault you. I posted a video of Hasbro in a nutshell. You're going to get a kick out of it. Okay. Hey, Keldio. Yep, the Hound finally being released. It has battle damage. Frag? What? Okay. Overlord might be referring to Megatron. It could be referring to Megatron. I don't know. I mean, there's code names, so who knows what they're referring to, honestly. It would all be guesswork at this point. Hey, BS Prime. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. When you hear or see launchers, it means it's a gimmick toy. Obviously. In fact, usually when I see a launcher, more often than not, it means role-playing. I think all of that was gimmicky junk. Everything. Every single thing I read there, I think all of it is just a waste of money, plastic, time, effort, development. I think it's all going to be just a waste of gimmicky junk with a movie that's already struggling. And I tell you why it's already struggling. Transformers fans are their own worst enemy, to be very frank. So one is coming up. I'm excited for it because we've been asking for an animated film for a long time. They're giving us an animated film. And right away, last week, some chump sucker, I don't know his name, was like, this is an abomination and atrocious that they have Chris Hemsworth voicing Optimus Prime. It should never happen. I'm never going to watch this stupid movie. Okay, well, I mean, you're a big baby, first of all. Second of all, you're not right because he's voicing Orion Pax. Will he voice Optimus Prime? Does Pax become Prime? We have no idea. Here's the thing. I love the voice that Peter Cullen does for Optimus. We all do. He is the Optimus of multiple generations. But we also have to be realistic that the man cannot do it forever. And if anything, he's earned a break. Guy just got a Lifetime Achievement Award. Let him rest if he wants. I think that they have to be forward-looking, forward-thinking. And you being stuck in your ways and saying you're not going to support something that you claim to love because change has to happen as much. And trust me, I detest change. I hate it. I'm the last one to adopt anything. But I also understand that we can't ride the Cullen train forever. Maybe a fresh new take is something that we need. And to be fair, not for nothing, but Chris Hemsworth does have a strong, booming voice when he wants. It might fit. So rather than have this garbage attitude that's only going to hurt the promotion of the film and hurt people's interest in it because you think it's an abomination because you're a big, sooky crybaby of a man-child, maybe, just maybe, you should put your own ego aside and realize, you know what? At least give the guy a chance. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. but maybe it will. You don't automatically have to jump on this as an abomination. And think of who it's coming from, because I complain more than most people. And even I'm saying, give it a chance, man. Just give it a chance. Maybe not the gimmicky junk toys, but give the movie, give the film, give the actors involved in it a chance. I like Chris Hemsworth. I like Keegan-Michael Key. Scarlett Johansson. Like, I like these actors. I'm interested to see them incorporated in Transformers. I don't know if you are, but I'm very interested to see them incorporated in Transformers. Maybe Corporal could be Sentinel. I don't know, Caldeo. I'm not trying to pick out what the code names could be. We're all rarely right when we do it. If you want to, cool, but I'm not going to get into that. Sinus is acting up. That is no fun, Darren. I feel for you, buddy. I saw on Temu. I'm not even going to finish the rest of the comment. I wouldn't dare use Temu. They are known to sell your personal information, so I wouldn't do it. You can if you want, but I don't know. Buyer beware, I guess. Bot shots, I remember those. Yeah, I remember middle school. Oh my god. Ages, generations, differences. I'm an old man. Gimmicks. Get it, make me intense, crazy, killing salary. What? Okay. Chris Pratt voices Mario. What's the big deal? Exactly, and a lot of people love that movie. They said that was fantastic. Pratt killed it because he's a professional. Give the guys a chance. He's just one of those fans who only sees. He's just one of those fans that only sees just the movies and no other fiction. I would venture to say he is one of those fans that sees North American G1 and no other fiction. But like even Transformers Prime, the movies. I mean, RID 2015. Peter Cullen has given us some great work. And I've heard some people say that they wouldn't mind if Gary Chalk took over. Here's the thing about that. Maybe he is your Optimus, because I know he did voice Optimus Prime in a couple of like the Japanese shows or something that came over. To me, and even to Gary himself, because every Christmas proves it, his heart and soul is with Optimus Primal. That's where he is best known, and I think that's where his love really lies. Just like with David Kaye, I mean, we all know that he was animated Optimus Prime, but we all know that his love, his heart and soul is with Beast Wars Megatron, right? That's his baby, you know? I wouldn't want to hear Gary Chalk as Optimus Prime, because all I would hear is Primal, personally. But that's just me. I understand people that would want that. Are you trying to figure out where they'll go? What? Are you trying to figure out where you're going to put them? No, I'm just wondering where I put Zed. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen Zed. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you don't know what Zed is, and if you live in Canada, my wife has. Can I just show him? If you live in Canada, you might recognize this guy. This is my wife, Zeddy. This was the spokes bear for Zellers, which has recently kind of started to reopen. But she only got him maybe 5 years ago. And she had one as a child and lost it. This exact bear as a child and lost it, and found another one on eBay. I'm not sure. I think so. And I said, you should get it. It's your childhood. Get it. There's also Alf there too. Right? We also got an Alf. Remember Alf? he used to want to eat the pussycat Lucky. I gave Transformers 1 a fair shake. I mean, I'll give any of it a fair shake. I'm even willing to give the new comics a fair shake. But if it's garbage, I'll say it's garbage. If it's good, I'll say it's good. Right? But I mean, you can't prejudge something and be like, this is an abomination, when you don't know. You have zero evidence to support that. Yes, let Peter Cullen take a break. That's right, Darren. I wonder what Pete's take would be on having his voice used by AI. Here's the thing about that. I thought about mentioning that too. Like, the only way really to have Peter Cullen's voice continue on is if it was done as AI. But I think that opens a very dangerous door, because that removes the actor out of films. And if you remove the actor out of films, what happens to that industry and all the people that work in that industry? I think this AI stuff is a lot more dangerous than people are giving it credit for. I really don't think it should go any further. I think it's pretty dangerous where it's to now, but that's just me. Remember, I'm the guy who don't like change, right? Hey, Lance. Cullen hasn't always voiced Optimus anyways. That's right. You're right. As long as Starscream Wife doesn't have a Teddy Ruxpin. Man, Teddy Ruxpin was great. He had the tape player in him and stuff. His mouth moved. He was the bee's knees. Couldn't cuddle him though because he was too tough. I remember Alf and the Alf cartoon. I remember the Alf show. It was great. I do remember the Alf cartoon though too. We were still on Melmac. Well, I remember TMNT 93 Raphael voice Orion Pax. What? I don't know what you're saying, man. Any of the new fiction or old series I check out? Yeah, I'll check it all out. Give it a chance. Someone did an AI show of George Carlin, and people were upset over that. I don't want to see that. If it's not the real George Carlin, I don't want to see that. Who hasn't put a Metallica tape in a Teddy Ruxpin? Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Coming to Teddy Ruxpin's mouth. I know. Reload wasn't out back then. I know. Okay, let's get going here with more of the news and get it get it going. So first things first, we saw the screen to toy Mohawk. He's not very accurate to his screen look though, because his screen look is far more spiky and spindly. That said, I think that they did the best they could under the circumstances of the Studio Series line. I look at it and I certainly think it looks a lot like Mohawk. Is it going to replace my little spindly Dr. Wu version of Mohawk? I don't know. This guy's about Micromaster size, and he's pretty fun. He's pretty great, actually. But I really feel like I got to check out the core. And even when I got that Dr. Wu one, I said back then, oh, man, go up there. I said back then that I was going to have to get it if it came out in Studio Series because I like Mohawk. I know he didn't last long, but I like Mohawk. His head can come off. You can put a blast effect there. We all know he lost his head. Some of the things that were mentioned in the little write-up about it, other than him being spindly, and his tires are kind of facing the wrong way. Other than that, we found out that he has a movable jaw. The head can come off. His body's basically covered in cutlery. He comes with the dagger that he had in the concept art. So I'm looking forward to him. It wasn't a lot to see there, but I think if you look at the screen model and you look at what they're releasing Studio Series, I think you'll say, you didn't quite nail it there, guys. Didn't quite nail it. But I'm not hateful on it, right? The paint is in the right spot, and he does have his kind of spiky teeth. I think the head is generally right. Okay, and we already did that. Phantasmo Studios showed off their 11-inch Optimus Prime. He comes with, his blaster and a couple of, I'm not sure if it's one or two swords. He has a chrome grill. It might be motorized to open up to show you his matrix that lights up in his chest. Not much else to say. It's 11 inches. It is non-transforming. It's probably going to be pricey because it seems to have a lot of paint, a lot of molded detail. Make of that what you will. Speaking of Optimus Prime, AMK showed off not just their Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, but the accessories that I think are coming with Rhinox, which includes his axe, 2 swords, and 2 ion blasters that, I don't know, replace his hands, go over his hands. I don't know. So we saw that weapons pack, I suppose we'll call it. As for Rhinox, speaking of the AMK YOLO Park releases and Rise of the Beast, the Rhinox is 20 centimeters. He's well articulated. His head is able to move all around. He has drop-down hips, so his hips will drop down to give you a better kick forward and back. He has over 90 degrees of movement at, I believe, all of his joints. He has 30 joints. He comes with, of course, the axe, the 2 swords, and the 2 blasters that I mentioned for Optimus. As for Cheetor, we've seen pictures of him the last couple of weeks. He looks really good. It looks like the spots on him aren't black, though. They look to be more maroony, which I think is interesting because that's kind of a nod back to the original Cheetor, because there's a version of that Cheetor, might be the Telemoka one, maybe. There's a version of that Cheetor that has more maroon colored spots than black spots. Pod Pals, mini plush Optimus Prime and Megatron were sighted at Dollar Tree. Apparently, there's also a Bumblebee. So if you like the little Pod Pal plushes, get the mini Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bee if it's up your alley. They're only $1.25, right? They're only $1.25. Earth Sparks Cyber Sleeve Battle Blaster, that's out. Again, this is one of those things that's able to be used, I guess, by kids, or I don't know. I can't imagine adults using it, but by kids, that would be like the cyber sleeve that Mo and Robbie use. It's a role play item, right? But it is what it is. I just want to make sure I don't have to. Yes, I do have to mention this. One last AMK YOLO Park piece of news from Rise of the Beast. Besides the Optimus, besides the Cheetor, and besides the Rhinox, or I should say the Optimus upgrade set accessory pack, Rhinox and Cheetor. Also, we saw more of the Scourge. And what's interesting is his mask can come off, and he actually seems to have a couple of versions of the battle damaged face. We also saw images of him on T-Formers, TFW, and we see him compared to the Studio Series one. Obviously, the YOLO Park one is a little bit bigger and it looks more accurate. I still like the Studio Series one. I love the way the head is on that. But for accuracy, even though it doesn't transform, I mean, YOLO Park really, really, really nailed it. It's nice that he has the battle damage face. I'm going to give credit where credit is due there. Fans Hobby showed up their Armada Jetfire. I talked about it last week when I talked a little bit about Overload. And I said then that there were some images of Overload combined with Optimus, combined with Jetfire. Well, now we get the Jetfire images. He's quite a bit bigger than the base Optimus, the cab of Optimus, if you will. Very, I think, masterpiece scaled, of course. Looks very true to the character. Very, very true. Now, I did review, courtesy of Maximal 10, if I'm not mistaken, I did review that original. And it was solid. I mean, some articulation limits that obviously the Fans Hobby one won't have, but he was solid. We also saw in those same images Jetfire on Overload. I assume that can be towed by the Optimus. What a set. The originals were, I mean, they weren't fun because that Optimus is atrocious when he's combined with no movement. But they were definitely interesting and they were an impressive specimen to see all combined up. I gotta believe, man, this is going to look good. I think the pressure is on now for Hasbro to do a Jetfire and to do a Overload that's able to go on with their Armada Optimus Prime and make them articulate, make them good. And then, you know what? Why don't you do a trio that makes the Star Saber and a trio that makes the Sky Boom Shield and give it all to Optimus? The Unicron Trilogy fans would love it. I bet they would. I bet they would adore that. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy fan, and even I think I would adore it. Transformers Samurai bronze statues from Tong Shifu sculptures. These are statues made of bronze of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Grimlock. Very stylized. If you did not tell me who these four were, I would struggle to even know that they're Transformers. But once you know the characters and you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, I can see it. Oh yeah, I can see it. But they're rough. They're about $35 US each, which would be probably about $55-$60 here. But again, you're buying a statue that's, you know, done in bronze and well painted. Get rid of that. You're probably not going to be able to get them now because as of right now, as of this show, apparently they are only available in Asia. I thought it was originally just available in China, but it seems like they're available throughout Asia. Make of that what you will. Medics has been found in store in Walgreens in Illinois. So if you've been waiting for Medics, I'm shocked that the US is still waiting for Medics. Apparently he's finally starting to show up in store, even though he's still up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse. If you're wondering if Medics is any good, I reviewed him last summer, maybe even May, some 6, 7, 8 months ago. Check it out, my Medics review. I think that it's more successful than the crankcase use of the mold, but it is the crankcase use of the mold, which I was not a huge fan of because the chest just comes up. Doesn't happen as easily, I find, with Medics, but buyer beware would be my take on that. That said, if you got Chase, you know you probably want Medics, right? Just saying. DNA Design, they showed off their Ape Link upgrade again, noting that in the first run, there's going to be an alternate, not just the shoulders and the forearms, and I think an adapter for the new head so it can look up and down and everything else. And I even think there's like the 2 pieces of that key. There's a whole bunch of stuff in it. But the first run of that DNA Design set will also have an alternate robot head to turn your Primal into Ape Link. Here's the thing. It's only for the Takara Primal. If you're thinking of getting it for your Studio Series, like I was hoping to do, not going to work. does not go with the Studio Series. It is not for that. It is for the larger Takara one. So if you have that one, cool. If you don't, cool. But don't waste your money on the wrong thing. Magmatron. We've seen now some images from Mark, and we've seen some images from Takara. I'm very happy to say, and I was nervous about this, his wrists do move, specifically the wrist on the arm that has the Caesaurus guy as the shield, because every time I saw that arm, it was like gorilla armed and the hand was like this. And I was like, oh man, this is Commander Class. You can't give him gorilla arms. You can't do it so when he turns his elbow, it's like he's begging. He needs a wrist. And the Takara images show, yes, that arm does have a wrist. Thank goodness. He comes with his magma blade, of course, his magma sword. His magma blade, his Magmasaurus mode, Landsaurus, Skysaurus, Seasaurus. The head of Landsaurus moves forward in robot mode, so that could be like biting or something, right? It's very well painted. In fact, all three dinosaurs inside their mouths, like the lower jaw where the tongue and stuff is, all of that's painted. He even has an ab crunch. This is one of those times, and like I call Mark a corporate shill a lot of times. I call Warden the same thing. I call a lot of them corporate shills. But I'll give credit where credit is due. This time around, I think that he seems legitimately excited about Magmatron. I really, really do think he seems legit excited about Magmatron. DNA Design, by the way, they're not only doing an upgrade for their Primal, they're doing an upgrade for Snarl that will give him fillers for his dino feet. I don't need it because our buddy Joe sent me an upgrade kit to fill in the feet of my Snarl. Fillers for, I guess, the inside of like the ankles in robot mode, that lower part of the leg, so that you don't see. It's probably easiest if I show it. So the DNA set will have fillers to go in the back of these, just like mine. The DNA set will have fillers to go in on the lower part of the legs, just like mine. The DNA set, however, won't have a blaster. It will have a new hand that will have a new sword, and the sword will be able to like be pointed straight out and is blast effects compatible. The Dino Mouth will also have a blast effect adapter, and he comes with, you guessed it, 2 blast effects. It's a nice set, honestly, for Snarl. If you have Snarl or you're getting Snarl and you want a set and you don't necessarily want the Matrix Workshop one, why not consider the DNA Design one? I'm sure it's quite good. Earlier, I talked about finding the mini plushes at, I think, a Dollar Tree in the US. Also at Dollar Tree are Optimus Prime and Bumblebee kids masks. They're evergreen designs. The eyes are out. I'm sure that they're cheap. You probably wouldn't use them for Halloween or something, but you could probably use them for playing around when you put on your Earth Spark cyber sleeve thing and, one of your launcher gimmicky things for Transformers 1. And you put on your Optimus Prime mask, and your friend says, I want to be Optimus Prime. And you're like, I want to be Optimus Prime. And then you argue about it, and then one of you decides that you'll be Optimus Prime. And the other one's like, okay, fine, I'll be Bumblebee. And then you go back and you pick out like your last night Bumblebee sword thing. I know, I went off on a tangent. They're masks. They're dollar store masks. Hey, the NPM, or the MPG, I should say, Raiden is getting a little bit of a twist by way of a alternate release for Shouki. Shouki makes the head, the upper torso of Raiden. It is a Diaclone colored one where he has a new chest piece. He has a new head that's inspired by the toy rather than the cartoon. And his overall color, instead of being like white and blue, is more like this creamy light beige and blue. It looks like you took a Shouki and that he yellowed. Right? It looks like he yellowed, but it's deliberate. It's the way the Diaclone one is. This repaint's name is going to be Gino, Ginoh. I don't know if that's a Diaclone character, if it's an alternate train bot or what. I'm not sure of the background on that. I'll admit. The release date for that, if you're interested in starting to build a Diaclone colored version of MPG Raiden, for the cool low price of $162 US plus tax plus shipping, you can get them as of apparently September 28th, 2024. And yes, he can, of course, be the torso of Raiden, naturally. We got that done. Transformers Legacy Leaders, they're out in the US now as well. The Leaders are out here too. At least I saw the Laser Prime. And the Deluxes are out in the US in store. In store. The Deluxes were seen first in Indiana. So if you live in Indiana, I don't know, start checking for the Deluxes, I guess. We got that done. We saw some concept art from Rise of the Beast for Stratosphere that looks a lot different than the old man we got with the mustache and crashing around. He was mostly green. This one is mostly white and red. There are wings on his shoulders, a la Shatter, for example, where her wings are kind of like on her shoulders, like kind of down the side of her body ish there. There's a lot of vibes to this concept art for Stratosphere, at least to me, that harken to a little bit of Gundam, a little bit of Robotech, a little bit of Transformers. It's a weird mix of aesthetics. I like the Stratosphere that we got in the end, but this would have made a cool Transformer. He does look powerful. He does look clean. I don't think it fit for Stratosphere, but I wouldn't say get rid of the model. Keep it for someone. Keep it for someone. I'm not sure who, but keep it for someone. Dun, 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 dun. Where else do we have to go here? We have to talk about Transformers 1 release date in the UK. So in the UK, the movie is being pushed back until October the 11th instead of the September 13th release that everywhere else is supposed to be getting, including the rest of Europe. So why it's being pushed back till October the 11th in the UK, I have no idea. Wouldn't be able to tell you. Wouldn't be able to hazard a guess. Let's check in with you guys. We have one big piece of news left, and it's that multi-pack where we'll talk about Hound and Ratchet. Yeah, where we'll talk about Hound and Ratchet in just a moment. Let's check in with you guys. Let's see here. Whereabouts was I? I think it was about here. If I skip, guys, I apologize. I'm just trying to stay on track and get through it. And I still got a couple of things I got to do after I'm done here. Teddy singing Master of Puppets. That'd be a good one. Welcome Home Sanitarium. Right? He could be singing Welcome Home Sanitarium. So thirsty. Disney's using AI. James Earl Jones and Darth Vader. James didn't physically voice Darth Vader in Obi-Wan. I mean, I don't really know what you're talking about, but okay. I don't think they should. If you're going to do that, then there has to be something in place where the actor gets the pay for it, and their family will in perpetuity get the royalties for it. There has to be something there because this has the potential to completely decimate and destroy the film industry. Why would you need to pay actors if you can just get a robot to do it? I'm telling you, AI is going to change the face of work if it continues, and it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs. And then what does humanity do? Teddy singing Tom Jones. I love that. It's not unusual. That's exactly what I was thinking coming out of Teddy's mouth too. You're right. As we go down here, yeah, I'd laugh at it too, Caldio. I see Predaking only had G1 Tantrum back then. That Predaking is the Unique Toys Warlord. He's just slightly bigger, like maybe an inch bigger than the Combiner Wars ones, and he's very G1 accurate. Little loose at the hips. That's a bummer, but I love him. Got him a couple of years ago. He was a Christmas gift to myself from myself, actually. 150 Canadian for the whole Combiner was a good buy. Been to Dollar Tree, haven't seen any yet. Cheetor and Beast Machines has 3 spots. Okay. I did not know that. I never really paid attention to that Cheetor. Does anyone still have the old G1 checklist? I enjoyed looking at the figures featured there, especially the Sears Christmas catalog. Yeah, we all looked at the Sears catalog back in the day, for sure. He comes with 30. Yeah. Is that right, Sovereign? I see what you're doing there with those emojis, buddy. Take a look to the sky just before you die, Teddy Ruxpin. That's good. Who could be Studio Series 8618? Swoop or Optimus? Swoop. I'm thinking it's Swoop. It could be Optimus, but I'm thinking Swoop. I don't care. I didn't even know that there was an 18. I didn't even know the 86s were numbered. Like, I literally don't pay attention to any of that nonsense. I'm the last person that would care. Like, I'm not going out and buying something because I have 18 and 19. I need to have 20. I'm not spending $40 or $80 on a box because it got a number on it. I don't care. Who cares what it is? We'll find out, I'm sure, soon enough. Would love to see Transformers Heroes of Cybertron or the TIY Titan packs. I don't know what that is. I do know Heroes of Cybertron. I don't know if they should be revisited, though. They were rough. Maybe. Who knows? In good time. I only saw a Starscream figurine at Dollar Tree recently. Yeah, well, keep checking, I guess. Would be my advice, right? Historically enough, we have had 9 Deluxes, 8 Voyagers, 5 Leaders, and 1 Commander. I don't know why you're saying historically, or what that's referencing, but okay, cool. Hey, Marcus. If I didn't say it earlier, buddy. There were figurines and packs at Dollar Tree. I don't have, that's not a place we have here, so I don't really, I don't care. I guess our closest is Dollarama, but Robotech, yeah. I don't know what FV. I guess that's a Valkyrie, is it? I was never Robotech was a thing that happened. I watched it as a kid because it came on at 4:00 in the cartoon block, but I was never super into it. Like, I had Rick and I had his jet, and then when I discovered that the jet doesn't turn into the robot, I was like, wow, this is junk. And that was the end of that. I was done with Robotech then. It was never, I don't know, it was never my thing. Again, it was one of those Japanese import shows that just, it wasn't for me. Hey, John. Not a fan of the concept of design of Stratosphere. I think it's a fine Transformer. I just don't think it's a fine Stratosphere. I'm pleased about 86 Hound being in a multi-pack. I'm not. Oh, pissed. Sorry, pissed. I said please. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that, Sovereign. People like to jump ahead sometimes. Hey, Francis. James Earl Jones gave his okay. Oh, well, I guess if he gave his okay to do it. AI could be like when factories stopped using manual labor. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's exactly the same thing, Caldeo. Hey, no. Might get the 5-pack just for Trailbreaker. You're going to pay the cost of 5 bots just to get a Trailbreaker. Think about that for a second. Think about the point of doing that. Think about the message that sends to Hasbro for a second. Instead of factories, it's movie studios. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Caldeo. I'm right there with you. Okay. So, I got Sludge. I love Sludge, Albert. I hope that your tolerances were good because we know a lot of them have been loose. Mine was good. I will say this. If your knees are loose, take the screw out and you'll see inside the way the ratchet is. And you'll see that it's like a rectangle. All you really have to do is put something in to fill up the space in the rectangle. Like a filler, paper, anything. Play-Doh, I don't care. Something in there to fill up that space so that it keeps its form, so that the knees stay ratcheted. That's all you got to do. As for the hips, my hips were fine. I can't speak to that. Hope yours are as well. It's a rectangle with a nub. That's right. It's a rectangle with a nub that has like a solid opening center in it. Yeah. So check it out. If that happens, check it out. Trust me, I didn't need to do it with mine, but I took it apart when it came just to look at it. I didn't need to fix mine. My knees are fine. But if yours aren't, please do that because it makes all the difference in the world, right? And it's an easy fix because it is a screw. So it's an easy fix. Sludge is now at your Walmart. There you go. The multi-pack BS, considering all of that. Okay, so let's get into the multi-pack stuff and the trivia. And that way we can do the unboxing and get out of here. So and I've been saying for a long time, everybody's been saying Studio Series Hound, Studio Series 86 Hound, Studio Series 86 Hound. And I was saying for a long time, guys, he's not Studio Series 86. He's Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Could be Studio Series 86, but it's Buzzworthy Bumblebee, which means he's going to be Target exclusive. Well, Target recently said because of lackluster sales of some of the individual bots, they don't want more individual bots. Some people have blamed that on fans. I think that's atrocious and abhorrent to do that. You put the blame where it belongs, on the company doing the business. They offered a value proposition saying, here is a product, here's what we're going to charge for it. Are you going to buy it? And people spoke with their wallets and they're not willing to buy it. The problem is on Hasbro. Hasbro is way overvaluing themselves, way overcharging. And fans are finally beginning to wise up and say, I'm not spending that money on that. You think now, $25 on a deluxe for a Nest Ratchet. Even if you like the movies, my God, do you really need a pretty much all black and gray movie Ratchet? That's going to be, by the time you put taxes on, what, about $30? Do you really want to waste $30 on a Ratchet that you quite frankly don't need? I don't think so. The cup, you put it out far too soon after the Studio Series. Why didn't you just put that cup out in Studio Series? A lot of people had their Studio Series and said, I'm not double dipping on it. The one that did sell well was Cliff Jumper, and Hound would have sold well. But now they're saying Hasbro's gone back to Target and said, okay, that's fine. We're going to cancel Hound. We're going to cancel Hatchet. Hatchet is the last of the dreads. Canceling him is a complete slap in the face to fans. Even if it comes up now in a multi-pack, that's a slap in the face to fans. He should just be slotted in to Studio Series. Simple as that to go with the other three dreads. Having him canceled is, like I said, a slap in the face to fans. As for the Hound, so we've already had this guy released. We've had him released again in all orange. So this has come out. Yes, they're probably going to replace this back here with solid. But if they don't do any better than they did with the Dead Prowl and Ironhide, because mine are loose as all get out, then I don't want you to use solid plastic, because the tolerances on my Ironhide and Prowl are awful, terrible compared to the regular Prowl and Ironhide. So, no, I'm not buying it because I don't need another Jazz. And if something happens to this guy, I'm just going to go back to my Reveal the Shield. He's not very far away because that Jazz is splendid. In that multi-pack is this guy. They might give him a blaster. They might make the windshield here solid. And instead of having this be painted, it's probably just going to be yellow plastic. And while I think that that'll help this match the rest of them, and a blaster would be nice, honestly, I got this in Earthrise, and I'm glad people are getting it because I know a lot of people miss this guy. But I think it should just be a package refresh, not a multi-pack. Then we have poor Wheeljack. I love my Wheeljack. I got him in Earthrise. He came out again in Kingdom. He came out battle damaged in the War for Cybertron trilogy Walmart line. I don't need him again. I really don't need him again. I love him. He's great, but I don't need him again. This guy, also in there again. I don't need him again. I appreciate it. Transformers Talk Raw. He is our super chat, super fan. I very, very much appreciate it. Check out his podcast. I'm going to call it podcast. You do a weekly show. I don't know if you call it a podcast. I tend to. Check out Transformer Talk Raw show every week. Sometimes yours truly is even mentioned on it. But again, I don't need him again. This one even has the Toy Hacks labels and stuff on it. I don't need this guy again. Shockingly, his Toy Hacks haven't peeled off. Go figure. But the thing that's going to sell that pack is going to be the Earth Mode Hound. Now, when I done my best for the year, I said Detritus was one of the best because it made me that much more excited for Hound. I was 100% going to replace this guy with that Hound. Not a snowball's chance in hell that I'm going to buy a 5-pack just to get Hound when I already have the other 4. And I can pretty much guarantee you that a 5-pack here is going to be about 130, maybe even more. I'm not doing it. I think it's dirty business. I think it's dirty pool. I'm glad for people that missed out on those, but I think all of them should just be released as package refreshes because they came out at a time when distribution was amongst its worst. And they came out at a time when a lot of people, quite frankly, just weren't allowed to go shopping at the stores to find them. I think doing it this way is easy on Hasbro, but I don't think it's at all honorable to the fans. You canceled one the fans have been looking for, and you're throwing another one in a multi-pack. I think it's scummy. I hope that it's only one way that they're going to release it and that they will do a separate release later on. I really, 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 really do. I think that's one of the most disappointing announcements from Hasbro I've heard all year. And I don't just mean in the last couple of weeks of 2024. I mean all year. I would put that right behind all of the layoffs because the layoffs are definitely the worst news. Let's do the trivia, my friends. And then I'll check in with you guys and we're going to do the pickups for the week and then we're going to get out of here. The trivia tonight. Who is the first Autobot and first Decepticon seen in the G1 Season 2 opening? Is it Omega and Devastator? That's A. Is it Sunstreaker and Dead End? B. Is it Grimlock and Thrust? C. Or is it Powerglide and Dirge? D. A, B, C, or D. Omega and Devi, Sunstreaker and Dead End, Grimlock and Thrust, Powerglide and Dirge. I'm going to go up now. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Whereabouts was I? Okay, about here. I don't own any of the figures in the 5-pack, but I hate what it represents, so I won't support it. And that's the thing. Like, I want No to be able to have all 5 of them. I do. If you want them, I want you to have them. And I get the convenience of a multi-pack, but you know what? Maybe you should have just put them out as a multi-pack to begin with, or now you should just put them out as an extra wave. The justification is, well, we've already got the waves planned out. We can't go putting them in there. Yes, you can. You put in an extra wave. You do a wave 1.5 or 2.5. In fact, you did it before. You did it pretty recently when you did those 3 beasts being, I don't even remember who it was now. Buzzsaw, Sandstorm, and the Cheetor repaint dude. I don't even know what his name was. But you explicitly did it recently. There's no need for you to do this as a multi-pack. You can just put it out. You just don't want to put it out. Hey, Mike. Oh, no, that's the same Mike. Although I'll say hey again. Why not? I got the Generations Hound. Not buying 4 figures. I already got. No, and that's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I was all in for Hound. But guess what? My Classics Hound is fantastic. I just won't get it. I'll stick with my Classics. He's great. I already have the detritus, so I have the mold. So would I be happy to get that Earth Mode Hound? Yes, I would be very happy. Was that a guaranteed sale? Yes. Was Hatchet a guaranteed sale? Yes. And now because of your business choice to put it in a multi-pack, I'm explicitly not buying it. So now there you go. Another last sale. Good move. Smart idea. Multi-pack, BS, considering all we need is Hound. That's right. Put a triangle in the rectangle. No, wait. Mine are fine. I left him alone. That's another way to do it, too. Leave him alone. Are they doing a 2-pack, dead pack again? No, I don't think they're going to do that again because that did not sell well. 2 different versions of Cup on the shelf. That was the thing. I mean, you had the Buzzworthy next to the Studio Series. Like, you couldn't have planned it worse. That's a weird take. I know Buzzworthy Cliffjumper at least has been going for a lot in the aftermarket. It is, but he's the only one that went like that. The Origin stuff sold well too for Buzzworthy, right? Like the Bumblebee and the Jazz, they sold well too. I'm not sure about the Blue Streak because we had a glut of them eventually come into our Toys R Us. But I can go there and still get like the Nest stuff, a lot of the little Warrior class multi-packs and that sort of thing. Yeah, the distribution was insane for the Buzzworthy stuff too. That's true. I have a feeling they will. What? They will be mail. What? I have a feeling they will be Male like the dead prowl and ironhide, no clear plastic. Oh, Matt. Oh, yeah. I think they're going to be the same thing too. I think that's going to be the difference is that you're going to have like all spark blue windows or something, right? Hasbro's definitely overcharging, man. Ain't that the truth? I swear if the Hound has battle damage, it's an instant skip. I don't think they're going to have battle damage, but you never know, I suppose. Yeah, I can't stand the battle damage either. I took so much of it off of guys in Siege or painted it over because I hated it. They might make Hatchet part of a 3-pack. Yes, you're right. They absolutely could. And 2 don't need them. RTS Jazz still rocks. RTS Jazz is great. What a great Jazz. Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker in particular were really rare, so good for the folks that couldn't get them. People said that, but like Sunstreaker shelf warmed here. I saw him a ton of times. He was like the last one to sell. Trailbreaker, he sold pretty quickly. But there were a lot of Sunstreaker here for a while. I actually did toy hacks him. It was somebody had sent me the set for him, and I liked the windshield, and I was like, I like having the windows, so I put those ones on. And I was like, shag it. I'll put the other ones on. If they peel, I'll just rip them off again. But if they haven't yet, which is strange because normally they do. They might make Wheeljack battle damage. They could do that, Caldio, since he was battle damaged. I would like the new Hound, but I'm not buying a multi-pack for it. Yeah, I'm with you there. I got the Siege Hound, but definitely would replace it with the new one. So would I, but I'm not going to buy 4 other bots that I already have just to get a Hound. That's silly. How many people do you think are going to buy that and say, I want the Hound? I'm going to sell the other 4. How many Wheeljacks and Jazzes and Trailbreakers do you think are going to be on the aftermarket? Everybody's saying, everybody trying to sell them because all anybody's really going to want is the Hound. Few people that missed them will keep them, and I'm happy for those people, but it's not the majority, is all I can say. 150 says maximal 10. I'd say you're 100% right. In fact, I wouldn't even doubt, but you've already found a listing or something for it because sometimes you work a bit of magic, my man. I don't own any of the figures in the 5-pack, but I hate what it represents. I already read that one as we go down here. Multi-packs in general that aren't a combiner set are such a bad way to release figures. I agree. I do not like multi-packs. I really, really, really don't. Instant turn off for me. C, 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 A, C. Bad omen for the Transformers community since it's the bad start to the new year. Yeah, C, A. It is C. Grimlock and Thrust. As a matter of fact, it's Grimlock chomping down on Thrust's wing. Okay, as I go down here, I need Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Hound. So, like, it might be worth it for Snell, right? The more figures you put in a multi-pack, the more likely someone will have a double. You're absolutely right. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you, Franzese. The Cheetor repaint was Night Prowler. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting seed. I have no idea, Snell. It's not in the cards right now. Generations Classics Hound still holds up. Happy with the Siege. The Siege is fine. I just didn't like his alt mode as much. The Classics is fine. Like, Hound's already got a couple of good offerings. I'd love to have the new one, but like I said, I'm just not doing a multi-pack for it. Yeah, the answer was C. Nice try, Lion. The trivia was... I already asked the trivia. Blue, you got to be listening. You ask that every time. I'm not going back over it. Somebody else down here will tell you. They'll know. Take care, buddy. Okay, so I got 2 things this week. 2 things. Oh, by the way, another week. And I don't have Death Source. But I tweeted my complaint, and I don't really use X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. But I put it out there and was like, hey, Hasbro, how long has somebody got to wait to get their Death Source? Because I see that you guys are now wanting the UK fans to verify their address by January the 15th. Meanwhile, several of us Haven't had any updates since the middle of November. Well, they got back to me, wouldn't you know it, and messaged me in the DMs, as the kids say, and said, thanks for reaching out. Do you have your order number? We're going to check on it. And I said, yeah, here's my order number. Here's my name. Like, check on it. And wouldn't you know, as if by magic, they came back and said, good news. Yours was just processed and shipped. So I said back to them, mine should have been processed and shipped a long time ago. You have 27,400 paid customers, and there's still lots of people that are waiting on theirs. And they're actively trying to avoid everyone else who has already gotten theirs because they want to have a very fresh perspective and take. And because you have been very sloppy at your rollout and failed to fulfill your 27,400 orders in a timely fashion, you have now alienated a bunch of your fans who just wanted to have the product that they already paid for. I would highly suggest that you take this comment back to whoever handles your distribution logistics. And the next time, for any of your brands that you do a crowdfunded product, which you, in brackets I said, which you probably shouldn't be doing crowdfunding. But I digress. If you're going to do that, then maybe you should make sure logistically that you can send out all orders to all paid customers in a timely fashion. They replied back and said, thank you for the suggestion and the comment. We will certainly hand it along to our logistics team. It'll be very interesting to see what comes of it in the future, but I'm out there fighting for me and for you. Do you think they will ever do a Studio Series 86 Devastator? No, because there's no need of it. We have the Combiner Wars. He's perfect. Living shame you haven't gotten the. Isn't that atrocious that I haven't gotten him yet? And the thing is, I don't know how long I would have had to wait. I believe the only reason that's shipped now, the only reason it's on its way is because I had to go to the point of complaining to the company that I bought the product from over a year ago. I had to go and complain to them and tell them that it's not right. I didn't get it. That's a bad company. That's not putting fans first. That's treating fans like garbage. That's what that is. But I'm happy to say I got two things this week. Let's do that and get out of here. The first was a big surprise. So, Value Village is like a thrift store spot here. And in a local group, it was put up that there was a whole bunch of Transformers that have been put out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go look just to see. I haven't been to Value Village in a couple of years, really, because I didn't need anything old. But I'll go and look. And, they had like a Legacy Blaster there for $3.99. They had a Galvatron there. Somebody else already has his fusion cannon. Or not his fusion cannon, his particle beam, but did say that it was just part of a bag that he picked up. So if somebody got the Galvatron, he'd give him the particle beam. And I think Galvatron was like $5.99 or something. And what else was there? I don't know. There was a Barricade there. There was a Jazz there. There was a few things there. But then I noticed in package this. This, of course, is an on-card Baroness. And I'm like, no way. How often have I said to you guys here that I would like to have a better Destro, a better Baroness, because the one I got is this weird one. She's wearing all blue. Some of it's even turned green. It's awful. It's a terrible Baroness. I wanted something better. And I said, this is on package. This is weird. This is very strange. Then I turned it around. And I realized that this is the Baroness from the crossover with Magmatron. When that crossover came out, I said, I don't need a Hiss tank. But boy, would I like to have that Baroness. And now I have her. Just by chance. She, by the way, cost me, I don't know, $8 or something like that. I was okay with paying $8 for a Baroness. Yeah, a better Baroness. So kind of a Transformers pickup because it's from the Collaboratives line, but it's G.I. Joe. So I'm just saying. The other thing I have picked up, which I wasn't sure I was going to get, but then I thought about it. The other thing I have picked up is Thundertron. I think it was lucky too. And I picked up Thundertron because there's a leader class Thundertron that's going to be part of that Star Seeker set coming to Walmart. But I'm starting to think that leader class, with probably a new head, is going to be the Tiger Hawk mold. I think that's what's going to be used to make that Thundertron. And if I get that mold, I'd rather have it as Tiger Hawk. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get the actual Voyager Thundertron. Plus, Voyager puts him right in the right size to kind of go up against my other faction leaders, or combiner team leaders like Optimus or Megatron or Onslaught or I don't know, Hotspot, right? And I say all of them because if you know anything about Thundertron, he's not Cybertronian. He detests Cybertronians. He'll destroy all of them, good, bad. He don't care because after the collapse, I think of like the Space Bridge Network or something, his home world got cut off and destroyed. So he has a lot of resentment and bitterness. This is interesting. This is interesting. A very interesting character, a very interesting release, and we are going to talk more about him next week. Next week. And that's it. We are done here, ladies and gentlemen. We went an hour. It was a good time. Thank you, one and all, for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, please use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.